huge.
What do you think of climbing up it?
Hard work. Very.
Is it a good view up here? School.
Ben, you want to see the beach? There it is.
Long ways down. Puny ants.
Yeah, go.
Can I hold up this song?
Just be careful and hold the rail. We look at this. You see how they built it? Then. Ready. Just hold on to the rails.
I am. Big poles again. Two big poles on both sides. So watch out. That's a long way down. Nothing. Nothing on this side. Window. There's alright, what's this?
It's the oil they have to carry up.
Here comes a bench. That's a bench. Just a bench. Don't worry about it. It's for people to sit on. Why do you want to build some? Why do you want to take something for people to sit on?
Well, some people do this, yes. Like Mom.
Where is this? Oh no, you're not resting. No resting, Mom.
Okay.
Now stop. Where your voice is, okay? Not too far down. That's organized. What's that
Okay, go in there.
What?
Go in there. Come on.
There.
Could be.
in case they get attacked.
What room is that?
The oil room?
92 parks in the national park system. This is one of the most incredible places on the country. There's a lot of reasons why the park is special. Some are pretty obvious, some may not be so obvious, but the most obvious one, of course, is its age. This is one of the oldest standing structures in North America. Started in 1672, so parts of it are over 335 years old. So you guys are getting the time travel today. You come into the Castillo, you're coming back 250, 300 years in time. But what you're doing is stepping back into a world that no longer exists. And it's a world that you and I don't readily recognize. Now for 10,000 years, people lived a certain way. Basically, nature was technology. They had to find their solutions from the natural world and the natural materials they could create in that world. And they got along pretty well, but for the last 100, 125 years, we've developed all this amazing technology. Technology always changes our lives. For us, we got oil. We've got all this amazing stuff like indoor plumbing and air conditioning that have completely transformed how we live. You and I have that luxury. They have to live with what the natural world throws at them day by day. Yeah, well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about. Yeah. We think of the past as being primitive because they don't share our knowledge and our technology. But that really isn't the case. I mean, these guys, our ancestors, were incredibly brilliant people. They were smart and they were creative, they were innovative, and they understood their world probably better than you and I do. And yeah, this is a perfect example. This is not the Smokey Bear Park Ranger outfit you're used to seeing. We were just talking, this is a 1740 Spanish Army uniform. It's exactly what they would have been wearing here 265 years ago. Very typical.
Hang on a second. See anything unusual?
And other than these big bears,
What? What'd you say?
nothing.
He's messing with you again.
It is a secret passageway.
It's a powder magazine.
Secret passageway. Right, Daddy? Told you.
You
So,
like this pen?
yes, I do. Thank you. Keep on doing that. I'm making flashes so you can see.
Turn out.
I think so. Just turn it back off.
Okay.
Out we go.
Up the secret passageway.
Out.
Okay, let's go.
Are y'all getting tired?
Nope. You like this view?
Yeah, I told you I'd get the view. What do I down there?
It's in the White House over there where we were.
You see the lighthouse way over there?
I was way. Let's go see this mini cannon.
Mini cannon.
Yeah.
Brought my hat.
The mini cannon. Let's go quick before it falls apart.
It's not going to fall apart with you standing there, baby.
Yeah, I'm going in.
What's that one? What's that taller?
Or not, or it's mute.
Let's go in here.
Probably just gonna be a bathroom. Or maybe not. Like a second fort.
Yep.
Who's did this belong to?
In Spanish.
A second fort
Yep.
for second protection. There's the gate. Where they would close it. Is this where they would close the gate?
From the Spanish. It is your oldest intact monument in the United States, so it was finished and opened in 1695. It measures off the Richter scale, that whole area, as far as paranormal energy goes. So if any spirit photographers among you want to go somewhere amazing at night before midnight, we heartily recommend you go over to the fort grounds. Now, so many bodies are buried underneath the Fort Greene. British soldiers, over 500, they believe, in one battle, were gunned down and buried under that Fort Greene. We're no longer allowed to use metal detectors. So often we found belt buckles still attached to the bodies. So, good place to take photographs. Have a look coming up onto your right-hand side. If you've ever seen this building, it's the double white-fronted one. It has tiki lamps. Can you see it coming up right here on the right? This is the famous Casablanca bed and breakfast in St. Augustine. In fact, it's featured very often when they come to St. Augustine with America's Most Haunted. It's famously haunted by the original owner, a very shrewd widow, who was the largest illegal rum runner we had in St. Augustine in the 1920s during Prohibition. Now, she was very smart because she had all the government G-men staying in the house. So when they got to bed, she'd go up on her roof and signal her boyfriend, who took his ship over to Jamaica, filled it up with illegal rum. He'd come in without lights in the bay there. She'd signal to him when the government men were in bed. Have a look to your right, Harry's Restaurant, another famous haunt on America's Most Haunted. This building, the courtyard's really pretty. The building dates from 1750. It was owned by a Spanish woman called Catalina. Now, when they turned her master bedroom on the second floor into Harry's Restaurant's ladies' powder room, she really didn't mind that so much, but what she minded, and still minds today, is women who, like me sometimes, did not use ladylike language. You know how that goes. She will get you in those...
Pirate executions hundreds of years ago. We'll explain a little bit later. Along the way from here is a wonderful time to take a romantic walk, and just around dusk, people walking on the seawall here look to the other side of the river, and they see 7 or 8 figures walking on the seawall there. No big deal, but then they just disappear. And they ask a local about it, and the locals will look at you funny, and they'll go, "What seawall on the other side, dude?" And you're like, "Oh." They were walking right on the water. It used to be marsh. They were walking to their deaths in 1565. Pedro Menendez, our city founder, captured about 200 French soldiers 12 miles south of town, marched them on Anastasia Island all the way back here, brought them to this side, where the water at low tide reveals a lot of oyster beds and a lot of sand. And each one of those French Protestants had a sword put to their throat. And Pedro asked them if they wanted to become Catholic and honor the King of Spain. What would you have said? Show me the pew, I'll genuflect, give me the rosary, and we're on. Not these Frenchmen. The swords were popped into their throats, and they were gutted open like fish. 188 men tossed into this river. The water turned blood red for 3 days. Folks, Matanzas River, you know what that means in Spanish? Massacre, bloody massacre. This is the Bay of Blood, where they swear on nights like tonight, where it's nice and calm, the water still turns red, and they see eyes looking up at them from the water. Y'all enjoy the Bay of Blood. We're going to the oldest and most haunted part of town for a little stroll.
It's been. What do you think of this so far?
It's gonna be haunted. Must be haunted.
Lights of their eyes going, oh.
So if you would be so kind, take your little ones by the hand, keep them on the pavement. This street is so old, this is the oldest house. Behind you is now the headquarters of the National Guard of Florida. But 400 years ago, the back of that building was originally a Franciscan monastery. They had 200 Franciscan monks. People still see them on this street today. If you bump into a couple of characters in brown habits, There's 1 or 2 distinct full moons, whereas humidity won't photograph that brightly, neither will dust. Anyway, this is where ghost pirates are found, on this wall. You know, this was a town, Ralph's going to tell you, was always attacked by pirates. What is fascinating, the very first pirate attack happened, they noticed it because the original lighthouse out there, it was 1586, was wooden, started to burn. And a pirate who was a mass murderer called the Dragon, a very famous English mass murderer, the Dragon, brought 20 ships, 1,500 pirates. They landed right where we're standing. The Dragon, known to the Spanish, was known to the English as Sir Francis Drake. You're standing in the spot where Sir Francis Drake got those 1,500 pirates, told them to burn down the town, kill anyone they saw. Luckily, people seeing that lighthouse burning realized they were under attack, and it was the Dragon. So they took shelter in the original wooden fort that was there. 9 wooden forts were there before that stone one was built. The stone one was built because basically pirate attacks here happened all the time. You know, and don't feel sorry for pirates. They were executed, a horrible death. Ralph will tell you all about it. But I can tell you the truth. You know, I'm English, and those were nasty people. Not one of them, I'm sure, looked like Johnny Depp. They didn't look like Orlando Bloom. And they'd, you know, kill your husband, they'd take you prisoner, and they'd take your children captive and kick your dog on the way out. They weren't nice characters at all. So they were very often executed in St. Augustine, and they had a unique execution for them here. Now, anytime we lose energy due to a violent death, and unfortunately all of us had somebody in our family that's gone through that, either a bad car crash, a violent death, the energy that they display shortly before their death is so powerful, it can actually imprint in the place just before they die. Now, you know Gettysburg, and you've probably heard stories of people visiting the battlefields of Gettysburg today. And if they're sort of distracted out of the corner of their eye, they'll see a soldier in the original uniforms wandering just for a second, nothing faint or fuzzy about them before they disappear. They think they've met a spirit or a ghost. To be honest with you, I don't think they've met either. If you try to call these people, they take no notice of you, they don't know that you're there. I believe what they're witnessing is the few moments of that soldier's life before he actually died. Shortly before that man died, he exerted a lot of fear. He knew he was going to die. That fear is imprinted in the property, and that just revolves like a video loop. That energy's always there. We just are not able to see it on a day-to-day basis. When people get relaxed, their brainwaves trip into alpha. Have you ever sat at home late at night, you want to go to bed, you're so tired, but you can't be bothered to get up? Out of the corner of your eye, passing the kitchen door, you see a shadow figure. For a second, you think someone's come home early and there's nobody at home. I always blame the cat because I like to be logical. Must have been the cat, must have been mistaken. You know, it's really not that that energy's not always there. That energy's always there. It's probably a blast from the past, a few minutes of someone's life. It's a video loop. They're not there any longer. That's not a ghost or a spirit. This is called a residual energy. And it's all over the place. Anytime I have a big old row with my husband, and he likes to wind me up, and I get really mad, and he's laughing at me, my anger will imprint in the house I'm living in. I can't see it, no one can, till they get really tired. Now, 60 years hence, I've left the house, I'm quite happy. Somebody else is living in my house, and they see this rampant English woman running up and down, and they think they're haunted. But in fact, very often if you see black shadow figures, it's not a ghost, it's not a spirit. Loads of paranormal people come here from all around the world to stay in one room, which is a tiny room right on the 3rd floor called Lily's room. The ghost story is a sad one, and it is a true story. According to the city records, the uncle had a nephew, 16 years old. Servant girl called Lily, very beautiful. Nephew falls in love with Lily, Lily falls in love with the nephew. It's a disastrous relationship, you can imagine. They know it's scandalous. So they meet that young couple in secret up in the attic. Now everyone in town knows that's what they're doing, playing chess, of course, discussing politics, except the uncle. And when he finds them, he overreacts. He totally overreacted. He liked Lily. She was with him since a baby, but he threw her out of the house. The tragedy he didn't think about was that no one else dared take her in. Lily died within a very short time. That was certain death for a servant girl to be on the street in those days. The nephew was so devastated, they found that poor boy. He'd hung himself up in the 3A or Lily's room. And so, of course, you can imagine that the uncle was devastated. He lost his nephew. He really regretted what he did to Lily. And he grieved for many years. He used to stand on that balcony and feel so bad about what he'd done that I believe his energy is left there, and that's what people photograph as a black shadow figure. Now, Lily and the nephew have made it to the other side quite happily. The nephew is a really good kisser, apparently, because lots of honeymoon couples stay in that room, goodness knows why. But there's at least 3 instances on film where a young wife, always very pretty, mentions that they go to sleep at about 3 on the first night of their honeymoon. She's awoken in the dark by the best kiss her husband has ever given her in her life. She opens her eyes, her husband's still asleep, and there's no one else in the room. Now, you know, why would they make that up on the first night of their honeymoon? I mean, you got to take credit for that. You know, that would be not a story you'd make up, would it, on the first night of your honeymoon?
All right, no spirits. No spirits.
Okay, I'll be here.
I wonder if there's something there. It's changing. And then it stopped.
Skirt mediums like Sylvia Brown. There's about 5 to 6 left to come and check us out at this bar. She tells us they've got very twinkly eyes, they're smiling at us. I have no idea if she's telling me the truth or joking. But anyway, that's what she tells us. Very often when people take pictures of the statue, right and left of the statue, they get enormous balls.
There we go. Whoa! Can you see? I see halos.
You see the orbs, huh?
I just got 6 near you.
Did you? I'm getting there. I can't even see you, honey. Could you see me? Sorry, I'm in his picture. I gotta go. Anything fun?
No. Ready?
Uh-huh.
What you got?
We got one
Where?
over there in that area.
Tell me about it. See? Here, look.
Whoa! We got him. We get him? We get him? Where do we go?
Turn the air up.
All the time. The musicians just show up Thursday nights. There's activity from those pirate garrottings, and guess who had the first ever skybox seat in North America? The governor. You see the balcony up there by the Government House Museum? He would watch the garrottings, which took place just to your left. Now folks, you may have heard there are pirate bones buried in the plaza. That is not true. What is true is along the bayfront there is a restaurant we just passed, and they say, feed the fish here. Let's just say we started that tradition a couple of 100 years ago with the pirates. Yummy!
Well, thank you, Ralph. Well, the governor's house here was also a military hospital during the Civil War. Behind the governor's house was the place where they actually buried limbs. You know, any limbs they amputated, what do you do with them? They threw them into loose dirt behind this military hospital. And it's now a really luscious little park. Look at that on your left-hand side. Now, a few years ago, a local tells me there was just dirt there. And every time it rained in St. Augustine, bones used to float up and crash down King Street. So they decided to put that turf on it, which stopped the bones from doing that. Look to your left, you'll see famous Flagler College. Nowadays a 4-year private liberal arts college. Very fancy-dancy. The students live in the original hotel rooms because this building was built and financed by Henry Flagler himself. When he built it, it opened up in 1888 as the world's most expensive hotel in its day. And the most fabulous collection of Tiffany glass stained windows is in that building if you want to go have a look in the daytime. Now, it's famously haunted by Henry, and you know, those students often see him wander past their doorway as a black shadow figure at night. I believe it's a blast from the past. You know, Henry would have been brooding and thinking about what he had to do. It's a few minutes of his lifetime in a shadow energy figure. But the face that wakes them up in the morning, peering over them, saying time to get up, is definitely no blast from the past. Henry's spirit likes to get them out of bed. Many of their students don't appreciate that early wake-up call, and they do transfer colleges, never to return. I think I might too. Women go screaming out the dormitory. As one of our guys say, it gives a different connotation to Girls Gone Wild in Flagler College. Anyhow, we're on an ancient Indian village plot. This whole street was part of Timucuan Indian village. You know, these were really amazing Indians that highly sophisticated. They also buried their dead where the Catholics put their graveyards on top. Sort of a conflict of interest. Get your cameras ready for the left-hand side, because this particular cemetery we can't stop at, but it's definitely worth a picture as we go past. This is the famous Tolomado Cemetery, veritably infested with very, very dark energies. You know, it's a sad type of energy in the cemetery. People get pictures of the eternal bride, a woman who died on her wedding day, buried in her wedding dress, haunts the back right-hand corner. Sometimes a flame comes up when you develop your photos. A campfire flame 3 feet above the ground. And they say that's the spirit of an ancient Indian who's not too happy about the disrespect shown to his nation by the Catholics who buried their dead on top. Anyway, we're going to a very warm and fuzzy cemetery. It's called the Huguenot Cemetery, my favorite one in town. It's a brilliant yellow fever cemetery, so we might be able to get some pictures of some weird and wonderful entities in this particular spot. Once the train comes to a halt, okay, everyone in the back carriage, if you follow me, we're going to descend on the left-hand side of the train. If everyone in the front carriage would be so kind as descend on the right-hand side of the train and follow Ralph. Thank you so much. I'm in St. Augustine, and they come to check the groups out. She told me they actually gossip about us. They get a kick being kids out of knowing they can see us, but we can't see them. I have a hard time believing anything I haven't seen myself. I'm very much a skeptic. You know, I like things to be logical. There has to be must be a logical explanation. So many times I don't believe the cheesy ghost stories I hear unless I see something with my own eyes. That's how it is. Now, if you've never had an experience, it's hard to believe. Once you've had an experience, it's hard not to believe. But anyway, I can tell you, one of our group one night, not so long ago, probably about 5 weeks ago, had a movie camera. And it was this time of night, and I could see the red light of his movie camera on that little grave, and then walking over here and back and forward. And he'd been filming for about 10 seconds. We could hear him calling to us. We were laughing, and he was saying, "Who the heck is this?" And as I looked across to where his red light was, there was nobody there. I said, "I don't see anybody." He said, "No, Karen, on my viewfinder." As the group and I looked at his viewfinder, we were looking plain as day here with nobody to be seen. On his viewfinder was a man in a long black cloak, clear as day, walking from that gravestone slowly to this one. He'd stop, turn around and walk back to that one, stop, turn around and walk back to this one. This man filmed that image for about 35 seconds with half the group and myself watching it on his viewfinder. Now, some smart Alex in the group, guys of course, shouted out to the non-existent judge that they saw on the viewfinder, "Hey, Stinky, how you doing?" His name was Stickney. And this image on the viewfinder never blinked, turned, looked, nothing.
Okay, you gonna tell me about it, Ben?
Well, we found something all the way over there.
What'd
Wait,
you find?
back there, back there.
Take pictures of it?
Yep, we took pictures of it. The big time. Let's see what it indicates.
Ben, you been having fun?
Yep, I've been having fun, you machine. Died.
So what have you liked most so far?
Well, I've liked the train ride. Oh, and the fort. The fort, don't forget
Fort?
about it. And,
What about the ghost nest?
oh, that was cool. We're seeing ghosts like crazy. And I am thirsty. Where's the
There you
water?
are. Look at that, Ben.
Bleh.
Too cool. Now, I'll tell you what, we are headed back to Ripley's, believe it or not, but it's a very interesting third leg of your journey. Very creepy building. Miss Cheswick's going to tell you more about that building. We're going inside.
Well, yes, the third and hopefully not final stop of your trip. This isn't like the PhD or Masters of the Ghost Tour tonight, because you're actually going to go in this building we know as Castle Warden after hours. Now, in the daytime, you'll know Castle Warden, as we all do, as Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum. And this building has not always been Ripley's Believe It or Not, Believe It or Not. In fact, it dates from 1887. It was a castle built by an oil billionaire. In the 40s, it became a really famous celebrity hotel for Hollywood movie stars, and that's when Robert Ripley started going there. In between times, it was abandoned for many years. There were many homeless people who lived in that building. They also, according to police reports, got drunk in that building and fought violently in that building. Now, when the Ripleys took it over, it was 1950. And this building had a lot of history, including 2 deaths of women guests when it was a hotel that turned out to be possibly a double murder in the hotel. So a lot of incidences, and plus Ripley had a lot of stuff he collected from really weird places all over the world, and that stayed in the building. So 1950, it opened up as Ripley's Believe It or Not. When the museum guests went home every day, Ripley's staff at night noticed weird and wonderful things happening in that building. Ralph is not kidding when he tells you there's not one female or male member of staff, no matter what, will go up in that building alone at night. And I've been, and I won't do it a second time, and I got shoved heftily in the theater room. There was no one behind me. And I'm not, you know, I'm a very logical, skeptical person. I'm not easy to be hoodwinked. However, I can tell you there's safety in numbers. You do not have to worry about going up in a building, at least if you're not the last one of the group. I don't know about the person going last. So if we have in each group a hefty fellow, maybe an ex-Marine who ain't afraid of no ghosts, you might like to ask him to play caboose tonight. Would be a good thing to do. But most of the energy in here is pretty positive. It dates from times in the hotel when people really love this hotel. Spirit entities did come back to visit. One of the energies is not so pleasant. You'll hear all about him. He's no big whoop. But we'd like to thank you on behalf of Ralph, myself, and Wayne, our driver, for being such good company on this part of the trip. We want to wish you happy haunting inside there, and of course, whatever happens, sleep tight tonight, whatever you do. Enjoy your stay in St. Augustine, everybody. So, if everyone in the front carriage would wait with Ralph, everyone in the back carriage, if you'd like to follow me, we're going to go in first. Thank you so much. If we survive, you guys are coming afterwards, okay? You can make up your own minds what you think of energy by that time. So have a wonderful evening, everybody. Thank you so much. Good night. Good luck. Bye. Bye.
Could you come back? But I'm going to go ahead and refresh your memories just a bit. Right now we are standing inside of the Castle Warden. This castle is certifiably one of the most haunted buildings in the South. It was built in 1887 for Master Warden, his wife, their 13 children, and their 5 live-in servants. In the 1940s, it was converted into a very posh, very luxurious hotel. And in 1950, exactly 1 year after Robert Ripley's death, it was turned into Ripley's Believe It or Not. Now right now we are standing in the dining room of the Castle Warden. It is the original dining room. According to psychics, this room itself is not especially haunted, but most of them seem to think that this mirror right
And stay with us.
I don't want to be last.
You're not, Daddy.
But you can be last.
No.
I'm not afraid.
I don't want to be first.
I'm not afraid.
I want to be last.
Me, I want to be first.
There's like 4 of us fighting.
I want to be first.
Bad, aren't we?
I'm not getting burned.
Ben, you're going up ahead of us, baby. Come here.
I want to be burned.
All right, you got to
Thank you.
Neat.
I don't want to be burnt by nails.
It's not spinning this time.
Make sure you get straight. I'm not being last.
Okay, Ben, you don't have
That's a mirror.
I'm not being last, everyone.
Where?
There's a mirror, you can see there's a God statue back there, you can see the outline of a woman. But it's a mirror.
Oh.
Oh,
I don't want to be hit by that.
okay, we're going to be last. Ben.
Where is everything? I cannot see.
Ben, wait.
There's a theater up here.
Back here.
Like Indian canoes?
She's inhabited by a spirit.
Maybe. That'd be exciting. Now there are 2 but more specifically as a gambling room. Psychics like to think that perhaps we lost a bit too much money gambling. Let's bring some practicing. That's where leaving the room around the picture. Let's do it in a minute ago. She's dressed in a very nice 1940s cream-colored suit. She has auburn curly hair tucked into a very large hat, and she looks extremely sad. Guests have reported seeing her on several occasions, and afterwards, when shown pictures of Ruth Pickery, the other woman who died in this house, they say that they looked quite similar. So most people and psychics seem to think that it is the spirit of Ruth all the way down at the end of this hallway. But once again, get out your meters and your cameras. At the barriers from that hallway to where I'm standing at the mantelpiece. And Mr. Kitty sometimes gets some odd readings, in addition to the crystal picture of Marilyn on this wall. You get a lot of strange things near there as well.
Yeah.
Nothing is unusual.
Where are you going?
Nothing is unusual.
That's pretty cool in there. The last figure.
Ben, find anything?
Yes, I did.
I've never seen it.
Hold on 1 second there. Red alert.
Mom.
The bear's alive! The bear's alive! I can take it. The bear's everywhere. That's what do you mean? I got something on it. It wasn't blinking.
Alright, everyone come on in. Right now, we are in the room that is known as the circus room. If you look around, I'm sure you can tell why. This was also a hotel room back in the 1940s. And there are 2 different spirits that have been detected in this room. One likes to hang out in this front right-hand corner right over here. We've had many groups see him and run out screaming on quite a few occasions. They all describe him as looking the same way. They usually only see him from the torso up. He's got very white, very glazed over eyes, and he usually looks pretty terrified. As soon as he notices them, he runs off in this direction, right down here, takes a right, and vanishes every time. Psychics do say that he has a very guilty presence. They have tried on many occasions to communicate with him, but all they can seem to get out of him are the words, "I should have stopped it." Now, no one is quite sure what it is exactly, but that's all he'll say. Psychics seem to think that he could have possibly witnessed something having to do with the deaths of both women. We're not quite sure. The other spirit can be found right here around the photo booth area, in and around the photo booth. We find that he's pretty active with kids and babies, actually. He is the spirit of a 5 or 6-year-old child, according to psychics. They think that he is peaceful and has passed over, but that he likes to come back and visit. He's a bit of a prankster. He likes trying to pull people's pants down, tie their shoelaces together, push them around the room, pull their hair, stuff like that. We have had the curtains moving on their own lately, the front and back curtains. Once again, put on your meters and your cameras. Active areas are from the photo booth to the center of this room. I'm right here.
I can't see anything. Where is everyone here?
Oh, I can't see.
Smile. Do it again.
I'm blind.
Smile, Billy. If he had a camera, he would want to take a picture of me. Well, I did get something. There he is. He's right there.
Let me see.
Where is he? But.
Well, I got a on here.
He pulls my pants down, I will kill him to the second dimension. He's already dead. I know, that's why I said I would kill him to the second dimension. He can't die again.
All right, we are going to head downstairs to the lobby, if you would like to follow me.
Oh, yeah.
Be sure to have your cameras and your meters ready as we're going to...
It's with another word I go together.
Yeah, not so loud.
I made a joke.
Take a picture of what?
Ben, come here. Come here. Come here.
Oh, these are like the Lincoln Logs. I'm sorry.
At the end of our tour. On your way out, I'm going to go ahead and collect your meters in this black basket right here. The cameras are yours to keep. And sweet dreams, everyone.
Let's go see. They're getting ready.
Look, they're gonna do the weapons thing. Go look in there.
Up there they go.
Probably gonna stop there.
Good morning, park visitors. If you would like to see the 11:30 cannon firing demonstration, we ask that you make your way upstairs at this time.
Now.
Again, to see the 11:30 historic weapons demonstration, please make your
Ring of Fire.
Fill in your Come on, babe. Good, to put your hands in yours. So tell us
What is that?
Looks like a rug.
Oh, sorry.
Welcome to the Castillo de San Marcos National Monument, this morning's historic weapons demonstration. What we're going to be doing for you guys this morning is the 1740 Spanish cannon drill. This is the actual archaic Castilian Spanish drill that was used in this fort over 265 years ago. Back then, this was part of the everyday life and experience of the soldiers who lived and worked here. Now, before we get started, just some real quick safety stuff, just so everybody's okay. I do need you to stay behind the white line while we're doing the demonstration. Now, once we're done, we've saved the gun. We're going to go ahead and invite you guys across. You can get a closer look and take pictures and stuff like that at that time. Please wait for us to make sure the gun's safe and invite you, though. Also, while you're here in the fort, and especially up on this gun deck, guys, please, please, please do not sit, stand, climb, dance, or do gymnastics on any of these cannons or cannon carriages, and especially not on the walls of the fort. It's over 300 years old now. Yeah, it's survived bombardments and hurricanes, but the coquina that this fort's made out of, it's very fragile. It crumbles easily at human contact. Guys, don't trust the walls. They're simply not safe. You don't want to go tumbling out. It's 35 foot to the ground, and the guys up front will make you pay to get back in. We go to light the gun off, make some noise. Now, we like that. We think that's the best part. You might think it's a little bit loud, so right before we light that gun off, we're going to give you a warning to cover your ears. They suggest you do that, but we'll tell you when. The Castillo de San Marcos was this tiny outpost on the edge of no place, but it was part of the greatest empire that the world has ever known. The Spanish Empire back in the colonial era spanned the entire globe. It was on all 5 of the known continents of the day. And that empire brought billions and billions of dollars worth of treasure back to Spain through its treasure fleets. But you've got to protect those fleets and those far-flung colonies, so Spain had to build a series of stone fortresses all over the world. And you're standing in one of them now. The Castillo de San Marcos was put here in North America for one reason and one reason alone. It's not because we care about the palm trees and the alligators. This whole reason for this fort to be here is to try and protect the Spanish treasure fleets riding the Gulf Stream north along the coast of Florida. We do that by building a big base like this that we can power project from to keep the English and the Dutch and the French out of the bays and inlets along the coast so they can't use them as bases to raid the treasure fleets. That's why this fort's here. Now, we've got to defend this place. But we're going to do that with what they have in the day. That's muzzle-loading cannons. At one time, there were 77 guns up on this gun deck. It's a tremendous amount of firepower. The one we're going to shoot for you guys this morning is a 6-pound iron gun. Now, this is one of the smallest guns in this fort, but to give you an idea what these things can do. This can take a 6-pound iron ball about the size of a baseball. We can hit a target as far away as our lighthouse is standing right now. That's 1.5 miles across the bay. And this is one of the small ones. The larger ones you see up here, 16s, 18s, 24-pounders, can throw cannonballs of those sizes 3.5 miles. You are not sneaking up on this place. The real secret to the Castillo's success, though, was in 15 different battles, never lost a single one, allowed Spain to hold on to Florida for over 200 years. The secret were the guys behind these guns. Spanish soldiers were some of the best in the world. In the 18th century, you joined the army at the age of 15, you joined for life. 3 times a week, regulations said you had to go through the very drill you're about to see us do. So it's like you kids getting to do your homework 3 times a week forever. Yeah, you may not like it, but you're gonna get good at it, right? Basically, if they could see it, they could hit it. And that's what made this place so formidable. Now, the drill you're about to see us do is probably not like anything you've ever seen before. How many people saw Pirates of the Caribbean? Master and Commander. You see them loading those cannons, right? You see a fort like this being attacked, and they're running around and yelling and screaming, loading these cannons as fast as they can, shooting them every 5 seconds, right? It doesn't work that way, guys. We're the Park Service. We do it the right way. Movies are all about drama and excitement. You have to understand that Castillo is a siege fortress. What that means is if we're attacked, we're going to be surrounded. The entire town of St. Augustine would pack up and move inside. In that sense, it's a true castle. It was built to defend the entire community. But we've got to hold out under attack until help can get here from the next nearest Spanish town. The next nearest Spanish town is Havana, Cuba. It's going to take 2 to 3 months to get down there for help to get back. So the last thing we want to do is shoot this cannon every 5 seconds because we're going to run out of gunpowder and cannonballs before the help gets here. So what we got to do is slow it down and pace ourselves, and that's exactly what the 1740 cannon drill is about. It's very slow, very methodical, very deliberate, and deadly accurate. It's also very, very Spanish. You're going to see a beautiful cross-section of Spanish culture as it was here in St. Augustine. The Spanish are proud. They love flourish and beauty and ceremony. It's going to look like a dance. But I guarantee you, this is an actual combat drill. And it's not a dance you won't miss any steps to. Now, my name's Jeffrey. I'm one of the park rangers here. I have the great fun of being able to help run. Soldados, atención! Protégate para ejercicio. Bendigno, Santa Barbara. Entre en la cuchara en el cañón. Recognize quien sí está cargado. Retén la cuchara. Entre en la nada y tapa el fogón. Pasen la nada en el cañón. Retén a su lugar. Pronto de atacador y pólvora. Entrenla en el cañón. Attacking. Atacador, a su lugar. Tomen los espeques. Dispónganse a poner a batería al cañón. Cañón en batería. Dispónganse para la puntería. Apunte. Siga. Espeques a su lugar. Save it and cubren el fogón. Tomen la base de fuego. ¡Bota fuego al cañón! ¡Alto! ¡Es sobre la mecha! ¡Caballeros!
Daddy, cover mine.
¡Fuego!
That's all? And then fire? Is that all? Are you gonna do that again?
¡Todos los prolongas!
They're very good. Did they really? It's a good thing they didn't really put a cannonball and aim it at that. That would blow up.
¡Pónganse a sacar el cañón de la batería!
Now what? I'll see it. Are they doing it again?
¡Ready fuera la batería!
How many minutes is that taking?
¡Alto! ¡Prolongas a su lugar!
1, 2, 3, 4, 6 minutes to move that cannon. Are they gonna do that again?
¡Entren la saca trapos en el cañón!
Clean it now.
Is that it?
They're gonna clean it.
Yeah, clean it. They can do it again?
No, they're gonna clean it. And then they're gonna let you put your...
¡Pasen la saca trapos en el cañón!
That's cool.
See a cannon firing.
Oh, we're not that far. We will be.
You like
What'd
that,
you
Ben?
think?
What you think, Leah? Tell them what you think, man.
It's not as loud as Dad's game that you use.
Yeah.
He wanted it louder, huh?
No, I do not like loud
Well,
noise.
I'd like to have it louder, but we'd be breaking windows across the way and the neighbors would complain.
Yeah.
They'd probably take it out of my paycheck, too.
You telling the other one you've seen fire?
The 12 pound and Polly?
Fire a cannon. We've only got 3 rangers, so the rest of we have to wait for our volunteers to come in.
How many men work here? I mean, completely.
Everybody?
Yeah.
Got about 20.
Now or then, Ben?
Talking about all the rangers.
All.
Yeah. About 20 now.
Lots of volunteers.
I mean, everyone that works here.
You mean volunteers too, Ben?
What?
The volunteers too?
Yeah.
And if you count volunteers, we got a couple hundred. We got a lot of volunteers.
Oh. Wasn't that cool?
Yeah.
Instead of 5, they fired 1. I listened to them. They said they would fire 5, 4, 3.
Get back. Here it comes. Wait.
Daddy?
What'd you think? What'd you think?
Cool.
Like that? What was your favorite part?
When he fired it. Probably a lot of people heard that.
Going that way.